You think that this material universe is all there is. But what if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
What the?
After an accident leaves him with severely limited use of his hands, Dr. Stephen Strange travels east to heal, where he studies the mystical arts and opens a door to impossibilities.
The good.
Much about the performance of Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange is very similar to the character of Dr. House. He's super smart, he's very arrogant about it, and even the American voice that Cumberbatch uses is very similar to the one Hugh Laurie uses to play Dr. House. To draw a contrast between them, I'd say Doctor Strange pulls it back a little more than Dr. House does, and he's liked by a few more people. But throughout the runtime of this movie, the core of the character is made evident. Arrogant though he may be, he's also very intelligent and has a constant drive to better himself, which gives way to fantastic growth for the character by the end of the movie. Some of the themes in this movie involve the dichotomy of life and death, what meaning can be derived by the existence of both of those things, and also opening one's mind to new possibilities. In addition to all these themes being woven well into the character arc of Stephen Strange, it also does service for the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole, using this movie, the introduction of this character and what he can do, as a way to expand the scope of what's possible within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you've seen even just a few of the Marvel movies, you know their action scenes are pretty good and, for the most part, very physical. The mystical abilities possessed by the characters of this movie allow for the environment in which these characters are fighting each other to bend and twist and distort. A pocket of reality itself is being affected in the space within which these characters are fighting each other. The special effects team did a really good job bringing these twisted versions of reality to life and making these action scenes really interesting to watch.
The iffy.
Given the twisted nature of these special effects, I might actually recommend that you watch this movie in 3D. I might even go back and watch it in 3D myself. However, if you're the type of person who gets nauseous at 3D movies, then I can see this being the kind of movie you definitely don't want to see in 3D, because it might make you even more nauseous than usual. This definitely will not sound out of left field for Marvel, but the climax has a very big Deus Ex Machina in it. So in the case of this movie, thank goodness for character development. Because that's the element that gives weight and consequence to this scene, which ultimately balances out the Deus Ex Machina. Lastly, there are 2 post-credit scenes for this movie, so be sure to say both for the middle and the end of the credits. But if you're a Marvel movie fan, you probably already know that. And speaking of familiarity,
The bad.
Doctor Strange is in fact a superhero origin story in the year 2016. To be fair, that's not entirely the movie's fault. It's introducing a new character with new powers that have their own set of rules, and it's expanding the scope of what's possible within the greater cinematic universe. So it had to be the kind of movie that it is because it's introducing the audience, both new and old, to a lot of new concepts. But considering this is the 6th superhero movie to come out this year, you might feel a little bit fatigued at this stage, especially on account of the fact that this is an origin story movie. Now, on the subject of the supporting cast, I think the actors gave good performances, and I think they served the part they had to play in the story very well. But some of those supporting characters just aren't quite as individually engaging as I would like them to be. They don't have me clamoring to see them again in the next movie.
The verdict?
I think this movie did a really good job at introducing us to Doctor Strange and the special corner of the Marvel Universe that he dwells in. In regards to the franchise as a whole, I think this movie gave us a good preview of the reality-bending craziness that's to come in future movies when the Infinity Stones come together in Infinity War. This is Detective Steve, and did you know that another principal cast member of this movie has the first name Benedict?